Welcome to Fringe Fanatics with Chad Lee and Chris Sane.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. I am Chris Sane.
And I am Chad Lee. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, thank you so much. It is episode 159 of the Fringe Fanatics Sports Podcast. Please make sure, if you have not yet, to go like, share, subscribe, and follow us on all things social media. Also, be a friend, tell a friend, because in all honesty, that makes the world go round. So, we are back. We've got a pretty wild week of sports. I mean, we're getting towards the end of the NFL season. We've got, what?
Flown by.
4 weeks left?
Yep. F1 wrapped up.
F1 wrapped up. You know,
the NBA Cup's going on.
Yes, the NBA Cup is in full
Rolling.
effect. Yes, they got rid of the terrible courts, apparently. They thought that was too much. We've got one of the games on. I believe it's the Hawks and the Magic.
Magic and Heat.
Damn it.
The colors
Magic
were
and
right.
Heat. Yeah, it was pretty close.
Yep.
But yes, we are live and alive, and we are here with you now, as we are each and every Tuesday at around 5:30 p.m. on Twitch, and, you know, we'll be on YouTube tomorrow, but Twitch live right now. But let's get into it, man. Chad, what's one highlight or some things from your weekend to talk about?
Well, yeah, we didn't do a whole lot Sunday, so pretty much Saturday was fan-fucking-tastic, dude. It went perfectly.
Really?
Yeah, I will say, I think it was on Friday night, though, just give you a little highlight. I did watch a new horror movie. Like I always say, horror movies are about 1 in 7 or 1 in 8. And this one here was quite the letdown. We talked about it. It was the Shelby Oaks movie done by Mike Flanagan, the same guy that did Hill House.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, I give it about a 3.2.
Oh.
Not worth it. I know. Pretty anticlimactic, but it just got to give a review so that people don't go out and spend $20 on watching it.
God forbid.
Not worth it, yeah. But we did watch a kids movie, Elio, which was badass. That movie was really
that's
cool.
like one of the new
Pixar movies. He wants to get abducted by aliens and stuff.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
awesome. It was hilarious. Really good kids movie.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But,
That's good.
Yeah, Saturday went splendidly, if that's the way you put that word.
Why not?
Yep, we finally made the move and booked an appointment at Brilliant Earth to go browse some engagement rings.
Oh, my
and
God.
lo and behold, I've found a winner. I've found the right woman, because what's so nice when you go browse something, and then the worst part is like, I didn't find anything I like. I guess we're going to have to come back. Didn't want to do that.
Found something.
We browsed, and I was like, and I sat there during the SEC championship too. Didn't even put it on. A little pat on the back right there.
Way
for
to
me.
go. I'm
It's
proud
like,
of
this
you.
is probably not the right time to put on a football game. You know, she's browsing through it and stuff like that. And she, you know, we're there for about 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And then she comes upon the ones that she likes. And I was like, let's do it. Let's go for it. Let's move forward. And dude, we found one that we liked. And yeah, put some dough down. And
Okay, so it's not acquired yet, but it is happening.
halfway acquired.
Halfway acquired.
So,
okay.
yep, it's a pretty cool spot, Brilliant Earth, though. So we had to go down there to Cherry Creek, which haven't been down there in ages. And then we, you know, like I said, I've kind of stuck to this new rule over the last 3 months where I'm only drinking 3 times a month.
Yeah.
And after that, dude, it felt like I was on a roller coaster. It was a big purchase. It was a big deal. And about halfway through it, I just kind of turned to her and I was like, I think we need to go get a drink after this. And her eyes just got elated. She was so stoked. We went to Cherry Creek Grill. Have you ever been there?
No, I haven't. I was like, almost like, are you talking about the Cherry Cricket right now?
No, I have heard of that. That's a different spot. But
Yeah.
it was actually right across the street from where Bethany used to work at Massage Envy. And dude, it was a really bomb spot, man. Just like really good food. I had like probably the best chicken sandwich I've ever had. And I really consider myself a connoisseur of chicken sandwiches.
You're a chicken Sammy guy.
Oh, yes. And yeah, I had like all different types of cocktails, because it's bad now that I got it down to like 3 days a month. When those days do come on, it's like, it's triggering.
Yeah, you can get a little weird now.
I had a Bloody Mary, Manhattan, margarita. I did it all. But then we excuse me, stepped into the mall, let her get some bath bombs from Lush, headed back to King Soopers, got some more booze, came back, listened to music and partied up until the main card started, and then watched the UFC fights. So it was a very good Saturday.
Very good night. Nice.
Yep.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
fucking
definitely.
great, man. I'm happy for you guys.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Well, and I guess congrats, but you haven't. How's that work now when you've got like you both know?
Well, she won't know when it comes in, and then she won't know when I
Okay,
pop
so
the
there's
question.
still the surprise. Okay.
Yeah. No, she's one where like when it comes to like our Christmas or birthdays,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
we will kind of surprise in a sense. Like we kind of
But
show
you
each other
kinda
what we like.
know.
We're not
Yeah.
gonna waste time just like throwing something like, oh, I'm gonna get her something, especially something like that. I'm gonna make sure she gets what she wants. So it makes it easy.
That's totally fair. I
Yep.
appreciate that.
Yeah. Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, you know they say that Meryl's. She's like she'll try and sneak. She tries to figure things out. She's very
Inquisitive, huh?
yes. She's trying to figure out what's going on, which is why me getting her with the engagement was so good. 'Cause
That's awesome.
she didn't see it coming.
That's
But
good.
yeah, you know, it's no matter how it happens, that's what's meant to happen.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yep.
And as long as happy wife, happy wife, happy wife, happy life. That's really all that matters at the end of the
Sometimes
day.
you gotta have a happy wife too.
Yeah,
Dude wipes, sponsor
dude
us.
wipes. Yes, please sponsor us or any sort of bidet company, please.
That would be cool. But that pretty much wraps it up, man. How was your weekend?
Pretty good. I was busier than I thought I was gonna be. I went and helped Meryl. She just found like a brick and mortar place that her and one of her business associates are renting together now. They got a really good deal on it. And it's down off 16th and Race, and it's oh man, I'm terrible about
Sounds like
names.
around Cap Hill area.
Kind of Cap Hill, but it's like the Denver Unity Church, I think, if I remembered
Sounds
that.
really familiar.
Yeah, I think that is it. Oh, Unity Temple of Denver. So yeah, her and her business associate Kurt will both be there now, so she can do tarot readings out of there.
Cool.
And kind of has like a kind of an in between spot, so she doesn't have to worry about people just wanting to do it online or people coming all the way up to us, which it's a trek.
Yeah.
So that's pretty nice. So on Saturday, I was helping them move some stuff into their area. The muscle.
There you go. They gotta have you.
Muscle came in. Muscle got things done. But did that, so they were ready to go. But then Meryl accidentally left the flashers on the car.
Oh no.
So I drove all the way home. No. I'm gonna keep chewing that because there's no bag in the trash can.
Oh yeah.
No, you're good.
I need to change that.
But so I get all the way home, and turns out I had to leave to go to jump the car because I think his jumper cables were messed up or something. It
You
didn't
got
work.
all the way home and then you had to drive back.
I was home for like 4 hours though.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't like I got all the way there
Yeah.
and then had to leave. But yeah, I got home and then I needed to leave again after a few hours to
That's
go
a bummer,
jump the
dude.
car. But I was happy because at least, it wasn't like the
Big problem
alternator
or something, yeah. Yeah.
I'll take a jump over like having to even buy a batteries are so expensive.
Yeah.
Even to get a cheap battery at Walmart, it was like $140.
Oh yeah, batteries are pretty
Yeah,
pricey.
it's insane.
I recently over on Friday had to get my car into the shop and had to spend a little pretty penny to get a new valve cover and replace all the spark plugs. So that sucked. But I'm trying to push that Camry to 250K.
I think you can get there.
Oh, yeah.
It's running good. I'm surprised that you've only like in the years that I've known you, there's only been like a few like major issues you've had.
Yeah, radiator. There's a couple other small things, but yeah.
Other than that,
Camry's
you're going. Hey, Toyota, man.
Yep, they're way to go.
They are a pretty damn good car.
You guys, you say, didn't you? What was it? You said you watched the Conjuring movie?
Yes, we did watch the Conjuring movie.
Cool.
It was pretty good. And you said you watched it, but then this is the one thing I want to ask you.
Uh-huh.
Did it not get a little off the rails at the end?
Oh yeah, it gets a little goofy, man. Especially with like the mirror. Well, I mean, that was like the main point of it, but like at the end when like
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the mirror, and then there was like the large doll all of a sudden, which was kind of goofy.
Yeah,
Like I was
yeah.
just like, why did it have to be so big?
yeah,
But other than that,
it gets crazy, man.
Yeah.
It gets crazy.
Things get wild.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it, but it was a pretty good movie. I do feel like
They wrapped it up pretty well.
They did wrap it up at least.
It's nice that they've just like they kind of closed all the loose ends to where you don't have to worry about there being a spin-off. Like they probably might when they milk everything.
But how many spin-offs have there been? I mean, we had
I think there's 9
Annabelle movies. Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a bit, dude. It's wild, but yeah, the Nun movies. There's like 2 or 3 of those. I think
those are part of it.
They're part of that too. The first one was good, but yeah, no, I thought it was decent because like when that dude, it wasn't so much like the mirror and the demon inside the mirror. It was more so like
the ghosts were creepy. Ghost.
Yeah, that was creepy.
The guy with the axe.
Yes.
Even Meryl at one point was like, "That's a creepy ghost."
Yeah,
and I was like, "Yeah,"
because his smile, he just had this creepy smile. Man. Oh, dude! And then the old lady in the basement too. She was like, "Shh." Oh, that's what's fun about it. Like we started to watch these horror movies in theaters, and then you're just like, I am freaking out because you're not in the comfort of your home. Like I'm. Just,
it is a lot more creepy when you're not. Yeah, I get that for sure.
It's tough, but
yeah,
nice man.
Yeah, no, that was pretty good. Other than that, didn't do too much this weekend. I did start watching real quick, and this is it. This pretty good Vietnam documentary on Netflix.
Yeah,
it's like a 5-part series. There's a lot of crazy shit that happened in that war. Like we all kind of know it. I mean, my dad fought in it. But
your dad fought in it?
Yeah, my dad.
He was in Vietnam.
Yeah, well, he was like a staff sergeant, but he was over there, and so yeah.
Does the doc go into how the Gulf of Tonkin was a hoax?
No, not really. I don't know if they talk about the Gulf of Tonkin. I mean, they talk about like the Tet Offensive. I mean, but the whole thing was just like just an amalgamation of misinformation
big time.
That really just screwed everything up. And then, I didn't realize this too, that the whole Nixon administration pushed off ending the war to keep him in good graces with the citizens so that he get reelected. And I was like, dude, it was like so long. And then one other thing, and then we'll move on. There was 10 weeks that North, South, Vietnam and the U.S. argued over what the table shape would be when they were having the peace treaties.
Oh my God, that is nuts. I never knew that.
10 weeks.
Wow.
And you know what they ended up on?
Octagon.
The giantest round table I've ever seen.
Oh my God.
I mean, it had to have been 30 feet across.
And maybe it's so that they trusted like someone not.
Well, they just didn't want
fascinating
people to be at the head because it showed. Yeah. Who was?
I mean, you look like North Korea. It's a communist country, and but that's what's so nuts. Like that was the first war where it really began the beginnings of conspiracy. Because the other ones,
that's what fractured our faith in
had
the
all
government.
United.
Yeah,
we had stopped. Regimes like tyrants Nazis, like Hitler and stuff like that in the other world wars, but that was the first one. Was like, do we really need to be there? What is the point of all this? And then you come to find out the Gulf of Tonkin never happened. They literally printed that, and then just to basically invigorate people to go.
Well, like
and
one of the
up.
Big things that started everything was, it was like, I can't remember the names of like the zones. It was like My Lai 4 was where at like it was like in the 1969 or 1970 they showed up and they said like this is where the Viet Cong are. So like in like the whole thing with that war was like you didn't know who the enemy was.
No.
So they were just like, go eradicate this village, dude. So like the Americans showed up and it was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't good. And then the way they printed it in the US was 128 Viet Cong dead, like successful mission.
Wow.
And it was all civilians.
I bet so, yeah. Well, in the Viet Cong, I mean, they basically used guerrilla warfare, which is the same thing we used in the Revolutionary Warfare, because they knew the lay of the land. I mean, it's like jungle.
Well, they had like, they were in rice paddies, and then they'd pop out. My uncle
they had tunnels everywhere.
Yeah, my uncle got him and his like whole platoon were walking through this rice paddy. And there's nobody there, and then all of a sudden they just came up out of the ground.
Are you mean like a rice field? Is a rice paddy different than
rice,
like a rice?
Well, I think like rice field. Like it was just like a field. Because they're like in the jungle out there, basically. But
so
they
like what?
They were just like walking through to move to the next area, and then a whole bunch of Viet Cong popped out and just mowed them all down.
Man, my that's one of the biggest reasons I have a lot of respect for the military is my uncle Tim, who unfortunately passed away last year. But man, he was a real hero for the Marines. Like he was very involved with the VA. I think talked about him one time in the podcast.
Yeah, we did.
Because he started like a suicide hotline or just like a hotline that people could call. But when I was a kid, dude, I will never forget being like 9 years old and asking him about it. And he went over there to Vietnam and he said he was the point man, where it's like they would send him out basically to scout and there would be 3 guys and the other 2 would always chicken out. And so he'd have to be the lead point. And dude, he said he just started breaking down, talking about like his friends watching him die and stuff. It was rough. They sent him over there in rough conditions, man.
No, and that's what you feel bad about. And then they come back, and like, and my dad even talked about this, like coming back and getting spit on. Like, dude, they didn't know what they were doing.
No,
like,
they were just trying to help their country.
It was so much like pitting the ends against the middle that like they were just like the unfortunate pawns, and that's like was the most messed up thing about it. Like nothing good came out of it, and in the end, like. We left and the Viet Cong still took over. Yeah. So it was like, damn, like all of Nixon, all those lives for nothing.
It's awful, dude. Nixon did so much damage to this country and set us back so far in so many different ways. We could spend a whole episode on that.
Yeah, I mean, but just like going off Vietnam is insane. But let's move into sports. Let's get out of that, man. That's a deep one we can go down. Let's get into the headlines. Get your headlines here.
Are you ready for some football?
It's football, bro.
Gotta be ready for some football, man. Good games over the weekend. We definitely had some good games.
Well, it's Monday night and we're ready to strike.
And a lot of weird injuries too, like just bad stuff. We've got people season-ending injuries. We've got seasons beginning that haven't been a thing for almost 4 years now. There's a lot of crazy stuff happening in the world of the NFL at this moment in time.
And the first game that we will get into will be the Bengals versus the Bills. And this game turned out to be the shootout that we all expected. And the Bills came back down from 11 with, I think, 10 minutes or 8 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. And it was due to 2 just horrendous interceptions by Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Joe Burrow wasn't looking the best. It was a pretty funny interaction with Josh Allen and a reporter at the end of the game, and the reporter's like, "Guys had it all along, right?" And Josh is like, "Oh yeah, we had it all along." Basically, it's just like, yeah. I mean, partway through the game, you're like, "Whoa, this is not going the way I expected it." And then, lo and behold, Josh Allen and the Bills pull it out. One of our first snow games of the year, along with the Cleveland Browns that happened this weekend. So that was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, it was good. It kind of snowed a lot. They had to get the plows out at halftime.
Get the plows out.
Yeah, but Joe Burrow actually had a pretty good game up until those 2 picks. I mean, it was looking like they were really putting it to the Bills. Like it was looking like it was going to be a big upset. And then he just tried throwing the screen pass to Chase Brown, and Christian Benford he's just making plays all year long. Just saw it, and Joe Burrow kind of, I think it was due to like the cold and the snow. He couldn't quite grip it, so he kind of just shot putted it and wasn't able to get it as high as he wanted. And Christian Benford tipped it, took it all the way to the house. Then after that, they stopped the Bengals again. Then Josh Allen gets the ball back, and the Bengals get him to like a 3rd and 15. And then Josh Allen takes off for like a 49-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, and I did kind of think both the Ravens and the Bengals would kind of show out these last couple weeks, and both of them have not.
No, they've really fallen apart.
Pretty surprising.
Yeah, the Ravens game really shocked me, man.
But in this game, let's get into a little bit more of the stats here as we roll down here. Joe Burrow, 25 of 36, 284 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2, like Chad said, huge interceptions. Samaje Perine, though, and this is pretty wild, was the leading rusher in this game. 6 carries, 31 yards, a long of 9. And Chase Brown was, 12 carries, 23 yards, What a terrible yards per carry that is. T. Higgins was the leading receiver, 6 receptions, 92 yards.
Stellar game.
Wasn't too bad. Yeah, he's looking pretty dang good.
He
Jamar
did leave
Chase
with a concussion, though.
That's
He is in
the
concussion
unfortunate thing,
protocol.
which I think is his second one
He
this year.
just
isn't
had
it?
one. He just had to miss the previous week due to a concussion.
Yeah, so I mean, at that point, you're looking at is that going to be season ending? Are we talking multiple weeks? When you have that many concussions, that's consecutively, you're looking at like, is this going to be you're getting shut down type scenario? I mean, we saw that happen with Tua the last year, or was it last year or the year before? Man, it seems so long now.
Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. But yeah, and moving over the other side, Josh Allen, 22 of 28, 251 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was also, in terms of rushing, 9 carries, 78 yards, like Chad said, long of 41 with a touchdown. James Cook was the leading rusher, 18 carries, 80 yards, and then Dawson Knox was the leading receiver in that game. So, 93 yards there, no touchdown. But
another big news from this game: Trey Hendrickson did not play, and afterwards on Monday, it was the news broke that he will be sidelined the rest of the year due to having surgery for his core.
the old core surgery.
His tummy's hurt.
His tummy. Yeah, but I mean, that's like, your main point of rotation and stuff. So
if you
as
tear
much
your
funny as it
abductor,
sounds, yeah. And who
gotta be
knows,
bad.
like, what does that mean, your core? It's almost like the NHL where it's upper body. Your core's torn.
Oh, it's those abductor
Yeah.
muscles, but God, I mean, I couldn't imagine tearing those. Like, I just could not, man. Like, you use it for everything.
That happened to Kevin Hart. Did you watch his new special?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
talked about that.
I
Tearing
thought it would
both
be
of them.
funner too. I really was a little let down. It wasn't as funny as some.
For as long as it's been, it could have been better.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
that was,
But
okay. But yeah, he had that happen to him.
he did, and he sounded like it was pretty painful. It sounded like he was in a wheelchair for a while.
Yes,
so.
Yeah, but the Bills they do hold on, and now they moved to 9-4. They're right there, I believe, at the 5 seed for the wild card, and I mean they're playing the Patriots next week, which is a huge game. I believe that is in Buffalo, and if they win that game, there's still going to be a game back from the Pats. But I mean, they're starting to look a little better. Their defense is a little shaky, still giving up 34 points. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't want to play the Bills in the playoffs.
I wouldn't want to play the Bills at this point. I don't know if I really would want to play the Patriots. The AFC West is going to be one of those, like, I don't know who's going to, like, there's no favorite. Everybody could just, like, show up and end your season pretty quickly.
It's so tough to tell.
Yeah, but, like,
I really thought you guys would blow out the Raiders more. That kind of shocked me.
come on now. We got to get into that in a little bit here.
But let's get into the next one. We're going to talk about the Ravens and Steelers game. Controversy.
Yeah, this one, I mean, the big story is the fact that Isaiah Likely's touchdown was overturned. I did see what the NFL did have to say about it, and it was the fact that he got possession, left foot, right foot. As he was going to make the third, the ball was popped out.
Yep.
I'll take that.
No,
That's at
the
least
play.
that's at least a decent explanation.
Yeah.
More often than not, we can't even get a good explanation anymore.
That I do, and I do feel bad for the guy because after that, they said that, like, there was a good post that said he is now the king of almost scoring. Because if you remember, going back to week 1 of last year, the toe over the line with the Chiefs, and then just last week, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. No, yeah, it was Thanksgiving night.
Oh,
with
yeah,
the
I forgot
Bengals.
about that one.
He had a touchdown where he fumbled in through the end zone, and then it was a touchback. So that's like 3 times in his career now. But
yeah, the guy is becoming known for the almost touchdowns, and this one was huge. As now the AFC North, someone's going to win this with a terrible record, but the Pittsburgh Steelers now leapfrog the Baltimore Ravens. Well, I'm sorry, the Baltimore Ravens were trying to catch up to the Steelers. My bad. Pittsburgh Steelers 7-6, Baltimore Ravens now 6-7. But in this game, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is looking like he's good enough to keep them in games at least.
I mean, there was a few really controversial calls in this game, and not just that touchdown one. There was one where one of the Steelers, I think tight end, caught the ball, went down to the ground, fumbled it, and then it looked like he was down by contact, but then John Harbaugh, because then a Ravens guy recovered it, but then John Harbaugh challenged it, won the challenge, but the Ravens didn't keep possession. It was a really weird little sequence. They took a while to kind of decipher it. But the really worst one about it is when the refs actually admit they fucked up. There was a really game-tipping play where the Steelers went to go kick a field goal in the red zone. It was only like a 20-yard field goal. And then, because I'm watching it in red zone, and I'm like, wait, why are they back on offense? And it turns out that one of the Ravens guys kind of like put his hands on one of the offensive linemen. When I went back and watched the replay on Twitter, he didn't really do anything that bad.
Did they call leverage?
But they called leverage, I believe it was. And it was something along those lines, like something like that you can't do on a field goal block. Anyway, they get the first down. Steelers go down to score a touchdown. Well, after the fact, I think it was either Monday night or Sunday night, the refs came back and said, we fucked up. And that game went down to the wire. I mean, it's 27-22. The Ravens were driving there towards the end of the game, and Lamar Jackson had DeAndre Hopkins wide open to throw a touchdown pass, and then Mark Andrews throws up his hands to catch it when he didn't realize that he was the intended wide receiver. And kind of blew the play up, but that kind of ended that game. But, I mean, those types of calls that the refs make like that, they can really change games.
Yeah. And just real quick, we'll run through the top players of the game. Aaron Rodgers, 23 of 34, 284 yards, 1 touchdown. Kenneth Gainwell, the leading rusher for Pittsburgh, 4 carries, 15 yards, 1 touchdown. That's bordering on Jerome Bettis status. I think when he had... what was it, like 1 yard and 3 touchdowns? Something like that.
I do remember that.
DK Metcalf, though,
Huge
shows
game.
up. 7 receptions, 148 yards, along of 52. Let's jump over to the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson, 19 of 35, 219 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. The one being Chad was just discussing. Derrick Henry, 25 carries, 94 yards. I think he's also, the 4th running back to have 7 seasons of 1,000+ yards. Let me just double check this real quick.
I didn't see this stat, but I do believe
Let me double check it. Yes. Is just the 4th player in NFL history to tally 7 seasons with 1,000+ rushing yards and 10+ rushing touchdowns.
Wow.
So hats off to Derrick Henry. That guy's going to go down as one of the best.
No doubt about it.
Definitely one of the most consistent. Zay Flowers was the leading receiver, 8 receptions, 124 yards, 35 was the long, 11 targets. So pretty dang good there for Zay Flowers.
Yeah,
but
never gets in the end zone though.
He's really good between the 20s, as they say.
Yes, he is. That's it though.
Yeah. So let's. We just got through the games of the week. Chad, you wanted to bring this one up, which I think is pretty interesting because
I think it's time to talk about it. Man.
Yeah.
And let's parlay it into. That's a pretty great way to, pun intended. Parlay it into Pete Carroll's comments on what happened in that Raiders game. And that's what makes me want to bring this up, because I've been saying ever since you guys played the Raiders in that horrible, really windy game in Denver.
10-7.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm watching this game, and believe me, I am just a Joe Schmo. I don't know much about football, but I'm casual enough to know when it looks like a team's intentionally trying to lose. And I think for the past 5 or 6 weeks, the Raiders have been trying to lose as subtly as possible. They'll put up a fight. Geno Smith will sling it around. But when it comes to some of the play calls, especially when it was like a 4th and 2, I think, with when they were playing you guys, or like it might even been a 3rd and 2.
Yeah.
They tried a QB sneak. And
Yeah.
They didn't go anywhere on it. But like, some of these teams, also the Browns, some of the decisions they're making, they tried running that wildcat with Shador not out there.
Yeah.
They're playing the Titans, who also are going to be up there as far as like the top pick. I think some of these teams, they may not be really blatantly tanking like we saw with the Wizards, like we see with the Wizards pretty much every year. But I think maybe it's time for a draft lottery.
I would agree with you, aside from the fact that even the draft lottery in the NBA is far from perfect.
That's
we
you
saw
know
what happened.
what
this
I'm hoping
last
for
year.
is a legitimate draft lottery, not
Yeah,
one
no, that's
that
fair.
Adam Silver hands to the Mavs because they traded away Luka. That's clearly what happened.
Well, there's a lot that we'd be banking on there, but I do agree. I do think that there needs to be something because in the NFL, it is way easier to affect the game than it is in an NBA game where it's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it's a lot easier to call plays that don't end up working and things like that. And we are seeing it this year with the Jets, the Raiders. I mean, there's probably going to be the Cardinals soon. There's going to be other teams falling into the tanking category. To
I
try
mean,
and get better
honestly,
draft
that's kind of the Cardinals are an example where I think they're still putting up a fight. Jacoby Brisket out there is just slinging it every game. I mean, they did kind of get blown out by the Rams, but it was kind of close up there like the first half or so, and then the Rams just started blowing them out. But like every single game, the Cardinals are kind of like still putting up a fight.
Yeah.
You know, the Jets, they just beat the Falcons last week, but then you see this game where the Dolphins come in there and they just lay down. You know, we don't have to spend a lot of time on it. I just feel like at some point the league needs to bring this up because the tanking just makes it so tough. Because I mean, you know, you guys get to, you know, we're you know, the Chargers are trying to catch up to you guys to maybe win the division, and then you guys possibly get the Raiders or like some other team gets these layups.
Yeah,
obviously the Chargers play them too, but it's just, you know, there's got to be something to prevent tanking. That's why there's a lottery in the NBA.
Yeah, I agree. I do think it's something that needs to come up.
And they have it in the NHL, right?
I don't.
Pretty positive they do.
Yeah, there is. You're right. There is a draft lottery. Yes, but the NFL is a different thing, and they're their own entity. We've all realized that as we move through.
They're like an old dog where they don't change.
They don't learn new tricks whatsoever.
No,
but I agree. I do think we got to figure something out here because it's becoming too easy for teams to effectively navigate where they're going to end up in the draft, whether that even be the top 5 or the 1 seed.
Nope.
If it wasn't for Cleveland starting Shador, I would say that they are in the tanking scenario, because if you're trying to tell me you can put Dylan Gabriel back in there and think you can win, well, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're putting Shador in, the fact they still got Myles Garrett and they're paying him the insane amount of money, is the guy just eclipsed 20 sacks, and we've got 4 games left.
Yeah. He's going to
break it.
Yeah.
And he's writing 25 on his wristbands before the game because he's like, I don't want to just break it. I want to set it at a new point.
Cool.
So I wouldn't put them there, but there are enough teams nowadays that it is becoming a thing where I don't think it can be ignored.
It's just that's just it. Is like you're not seeing them really put up a fight, and you know, early in the season you are, but then when it gets to the point where like their GMs and their owners are like, no, we want that number 1 pick, you start to see some really fishy play calls, especially from the Raiders game where somehow or another, Pete Carroll thought it'd be a good idea to kick a field goal when they're down by 10 with 5 seconds left or 4 seconds left, when you would think any other coach would just try to throw a Hail Mary because a field goal is not going to do anything, but cover the spread, and your team's in Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, just real quick, if you didn't know what was going on, they were trailing 24-14 in the waning seconds. I want to say there was less than 10 seconds. They had a chance to just heave a ball for a last-second touchdown, which may have been better than just seceding for a field goal. But instead, Pete Carroll goes for a 46-yard field goal with 5 seconds remaining. Carlson made the kick, but the final seconds were drained off of the clock, so the Broncos end up winning with zeros on the clock, 24-17. Normally, whatever. But the fact that now so much is involved with sports gambling. You had David Portnoy immediately after the game.
He was going nuts,
calling for Pete Carroll for prison. He was saying murder. I think he said murder him. I don't know. He went off basically. But so the spread was 7.5 points. Depending on where you went, it was 7.5 to 9.5. Basically, it was 8.5 point spread. The kick for the field goal basically ended up breaking the spread, giving it to the Raiders, to the Broncos, which screwed everything up.
It gave it to the Raiders because they covered the spread.
Yes, that's what I meant. Sorry. It's confusing when you get into spreads.
But did you see Pete Carroll's comments on it? I mean, he didn't answer the question at all.
No.
It's almost like he just talked about the time left, wasn't sure how much was left, completely dodged the question in like a 3-minute long soliloquy, which just did not make sense. I mean, the guy should be kind of investigated on it. Your team's in Vegas. They should be scrutinized more than ever.
That was my thing. I was like, you screwed your own city.
Yeah. And I brought this up, 3 weeks ago when I said the Raiders they're a team now because Mark Davis isn't making payments for that stadium. The city is. The county of Las Vegas or whatever the county is. And so I think it behooves that team to lose. You saw that was orange in that stadium, dude. Every week is a home game for that visitor team.
That's the thing. It's because you move them far enough away from the original fans that it's hard to travel every week. And then you put it in a place that everybody's willing to go for a week.
But what's going to make him more money when all of these people that are traveling and those are the most expensive regular season tickets?
Yeah, they're like $500 to get in.
$1,200.
Oh, really?
Average $1,200 because we've talked about for a Chiefs game going out there.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe now it's down to like $500, but when we looked last year, like they were around like $1,200.
Yeah, they're most expensive in the league.
But what makes them more money when the visiting team comes out there and wins, and then they're in a good mood, they're buying beer, they're buying merch, and then they're having a blast. Like, no, like that's what you want is your Raiders team to lose. And
then it gets into the whole like secondary ticket market or the actual people who are selling the tickets from the main venues getting money off of it. In which case, people coming in are more than likely buying it off the secondary market where that's ruining, venues in and of itself.
It's shady, man. I think that's what he's trying to do is like purposely lose because it's a tourist attraction. That's really what it is. And that's all what Vegas is. So, hats off to him for making money, but it makes for a bad product. That's for sure. I mean, the Raiders are, dude, like that's what's crazy is like now that the Titans have won a game, they are tied for, I think, the worst record. The Giants actually own the number 1 pick right now. But and they're another team. They're not trying to tank. They're out there like putting up a fight every week. But dude, like the Raiders, that is the worst team I've seen in years. I mean, they're getting sacked every play.
Well, and Geno Smith's about to die out there. Real quick, I just wanted to give this quote from Pete Carroll, which is what he had to say about it. I knew it was going to look stupid, like he couldn't figure out why we were doing it. But there was a clear thought of what we were trying to get down there, just to take it down to the very last click. That might not be good enough for you. I understand that, but I think you can see what we were trying to do. But it just didn't work out. That makes no sense.
Isn't this ironic that the same guy that tried to defend himself for throwing the ball at the 1 yard line in the Super Bowl is making a bogus explanation like that?
Yeah,
like,
that was the most political runaround statement I've ever heard in my life. You knew what we were trying to do. We just couldn't do it. Yeah. But if we did do it, you wouldn't be saying that we didn't know what we were doing.
He should have been like, I put money on us for cover spread, and that's all I was trying to do.
Oh, man.
Let's get into some injuries, though. We had a really nasty one. Zach Ertz in the Vikings game. Man, somebody just clearly took out his knee. It was awful.
Yeah, and I heard the guy come out afterwards and say he wasn't trying to injure him. And I get, like, it's a tough thing because he goes up. The guy's already started to make the move to hit him, and he's down. Like, it's one of those freak plays. It's just this is what's happened with the NFL taking, like, so much impetus on the head hits that now these guys are like, well, we're just going to go low.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's like
because you're less likely
hard because he could have clearly tried to hit him in the hip. And that would have been an illegal hit. I don't think it's that complicated.
But you're talking about a guy that's just going up and kind of coming down because he hit him as he was coming down. So I don't know, man.
He went pretty low.
He went low, but this is what they've trained the DBs to do.
But that's just it. Is like if you look at the way D'Amico Ryans has his team playing defense, aside from Azeez Al-Shaair, which is an assassin out there. I thought the hit on Rashee Rice was like a perfect example of a legal, just dead blow.
Oh, he blew him up. He hit his shoulder. Yeah.
That's all you have to do. And he didn't go low because you don't have to. There's a way to legally do this without what the league's making you do and all this, and that's just the guy made a dirty hit, and now Zach Ertz, I believe it's a torn ACL.
If that's all it is, I'm gonna be surprised because it looked like he tore everything in his knee. It's a shitty situation. Again, it is kind of one of those things, man. It's football, man. You know what I mean? Like, and the way the NFL is kind of making it to where they're calling it, it's hard not to go low because you're either going to get fined a game check and get thrown out for hitting a guy high, which look at that Rashee Rice hit, for instance.
That's what I'm saying. That's a perfect example of how to do it.
But like if he was a half a second later, he might have been tucking and you get blown up in the head.
Yep.
And then he gets fined a game check. You know what I mean?
I was really glad that they didn't throw a flag on it. That wasn't a dirty hit.
It wasn't, no,
it was
at
a
all.
perfect hit. And I mean, that's just it. Is like that's how you do it. I mean, it's not what the league's making you do. There's coaches out there, and yes, they have to adapt. But that's what you have to do. You have to adapt instead of like taking the guy's knee out. He knew what he was doing. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, if you watch the replay, what Chris and I are talking about is Zach Ertz jumping up, and the guy goes about 2 feet off the ground, and Zach Ertz is probably 6'4", 6'5", and you see Zach Ertz's leg bend like a toothpick, and it was nasty.
Yeah, no, it definitely was nasty. I was trying to find the video of it.
It's in our text message, but it's pretty nasty.
No,
we'll move to.
I've got it right now.
Cool.
Hold on, I want to pull it up so we can all look at it here and we can debate it, if you will.
Let's see it.
All right, let's debate this.
See right there, he could have aimed for his hip or his wrist.
Well, I want to see where he was at before that happened.
You got to pause right there, right now.
I don't want to look at it right there.
No, well, that's what I'm saying.
I want to look at where he was in the beginning.
Okay,
Where does he go down?
This is clearly proving my point. Look, the ball's right there. See all this open space with his ribs? That's where you're supposed to hit him. And look, okay, now play it.
I just feel like you're also looking. Okay, hold on. I gotta get this on the screen.
Hold on,
I gotta get this on the screen here now, though. Hold on, so that everybody can see it. Okay. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Oh, wrong one.
I don't think.
Hold on. There we go. It's very small. Let me make it bigger. Wait a second.
Okay, we may just have to play it.
Okay, here we go. Sorry. All right, here we go. Let's look at it here. So he's already started his tackle here.
Well, he's starting to move towards him. Zach Ertz is getting the ball in his... Dude, that's clearly Bruce.
But look at where his head is, though. It's not like he's looking to hit him in the knee.
His head is going down, trying to hit him in the knee.
Looks to me, he's like this.
Dude, Chris, come on, dude. Now you're being ridiculous.
No, I'm not. I don't think I am.
Look, he's going down, trying to hit him. When there's...
His eyesight's right here.
What about all of that?
His eye's right here.
Exactly. That's a dirty hit. He's purposely...
He don't even know where he's hitting him.
See, now you're being ridiculous, dude.
I don't think so. But anyways, look at this.
I'm glad
Boom.
I'm glad you brought that up. That clearly proves my point, where he purposely made a dirty hit. We had all of the open space. He could have hit him in the ribs and just jacked him up and made a legal hard hit. Instead, that was a dirty hit. That's lame, dude.
Yeah, it's bang bang. I don't know, man. I mean, this is what...
That's not bang bang.
I hate to say it.
Play.
I hate to say it. This is what the NFL wants. This is why we took away head hits.
Why? No, because you can hit him in the ribs.
That's why we took away head hits, though.
I think you're fit. You're having cognitive dissonance right now, man.
No.
That's exactly what you're having.
I know cognitive dissonance.
You can't say it. He could have hit him in the ribs or the hip, and he probably would have lodged the ball out in an even better way to where the other guy could have caught the ball, like the other defender.
But yeah, I mean, that's what we're looking at.
Especially when his head is pointing, not even looking at his body, already decided he's going to hit him in the knee.
Yeah. I'm not going to say he aimed for his knee when he's looking at the ground is all I'm saying.
When he's aiming and it's got his head at the ground, he's clearly aiming at his knee.
Well, to aim would mean you were looking at it. Because if you were looking
down, okay.
But if you were aiming, just real quick, if you were aiming down an arrow, like down your bow, and then you looked away, where would you be aiming?
Right, but if he wanted to keep like a legal hit, he would have had his head up. If he wanted to hit him in the knee, he knew where he was going because all he had to do was dart down.
That's true.
Yeah, the guy's.
I'll give you that. I'm not gonna say it's not a terrible hit, but
No,
it's
not. I don't think it's due to what the NFL is doing because the NFL, Petrie. There's ways you can make legal hits and still have a truck stick and not have a dirty hit.
Yeah, no, I agree, but they've convoluted the rules a little bit, which makes that a gray area to some degree. Is all I'm trying to make the point of.
Oh yeah.
But let's move on real quick to Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones out for the year now. Torn Achilles. This guy was a warrior playing through a broken fibula.
Yep.
And continuing to play. And we'll talk about maybe why he just should have shut down rather than finding something to fix it later, because that's going to come at the DDOE. But that leads to the return of the one, the only, Mr. Rivers is back. The greatest trash talker in NFL history is back.
And he's the man with 10 children and now a grandpa.
Yeah, did you hear what he was saying about how he has a child who is 10 months older than his youngest grandson? So his grandson... His son will be throwing passes to his grandson in high school.
Wow. And he's also got a son that is older than Tyler Warren.
Yeah. That's probably the son whose son will be throwing passes to his son.
Yeah. Well, Shane Steichen and him have a long history.
Yeah, that's the big thing there.
Yeah, Shane Steichen was his quarterback's coach in San Diego, and he was also the coach in Indianapolis when Phillip Rivers spent some time there. And Phillip Rivers was running the Colts offense when he was coaching his kids' high school.
Yeah, and now he's back. Phillip Rivers, who retired 70 years ago, came back out of retirement when Andrew Luck retired out of nowhere, and then retired again, and has now come back 4.5, almost 5 years later, to possibly start ahead of Brett Rippon and what's the other guy's name?
Riley Leonard.
Riley Leonard, yes. Yep. How do you think those guys feel?
Oh, yeah. That's the real thing. It's like, Brett Rippon is the one because Riley Leonard's a little injured. And if I was him, I'd be pretty stoked they're bringing on Phillip Rivers because of the knowledge.
Learning, yeah.
But Brett Rippon, man, what a slap in the face.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
You've seen him in Denver, dude. He is not good.
Every once in a while, he can sling it for like about a half. But yeah, it's not good for them. Also, think about the one Colin Kaepernick that a 44-year-old got a shot over.
He even made a statement. It's like, I'm still in shape and stuff.
Yeah. Guy's still training every day to be a quarterback.
He's gonna be saying that till he's 60.
Pretty much. I'm still good to go.
Yeah.
But that is it for the NFL. Let's get into the NBA.
Magic, right side to Scott. Slam dunk. 4 seconds. 3 seconds left. Why are they not fouling? Jumper Murray. He's on fire. Denver bounce.
Pump fake for 2. Kobe's got the Laker record. 81-point game. Ladies and gentlemen, you have witnessed the second greatest scoring performance in NBA history.
Come on. I'm burning.
Timeout indeed. I hope you all are taking a timeout of your busy Tuesday nights and Friday nights this week. Or I'm sorry, is it Saturday? When is it happening? Oh no, it's Wednesday. Sorry, tomorrow. Today and tomorrow, the NBA Cup quarterfinals are happening. Tonight, we have the Miami Heat and the Orlando Magic. Funny, both of the Florida teams are playing there. And the Raptors and the Knicks playing tonight, and then tomorrow we've got OKC, the Suns, the Lakers, and the Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping the majority of those teams have nothing to do towards the end of the year in the playoffs, aside from OKC, who I think is just going to win every game that they can.
They might go, 81-1.
They might. They're going.
Yep.
But yeah, it's turned into the NBA Cup quarterfinals as they are happening, and then there's going to be a game in a couple weeks that means nothing. But let's get into the other news as Jamal Murray and Jaylen Brown were the NBA Players of the Week, which the main reason I brought this up is just because there's not too many times we get to talk about Jamal Murray getting some sort of accolade, really, and he had a hell of a game this week.
He's had a hell of a start to the season.
He is. He's looking like he might finally get that All-star bid that we've been asking for.
Last week, he had a splash game where he went for 52.
Yes,
Yeah.
insane. Just going off of the weeks, Jaylen Brown, the Boston Celtics, finished 3-0 over the week. December 4th, the Celtics won by 45. Jaylen Brown averaged 34 points, 6.7 rebounds, 5.7 assists, and 1 steal over the week. Moving over to Jamal Murray, who helped the Nuggets to a 3-1 record. He averaged 29.8, 7.5 assists, and 4.5 rebounds. Hell of a start to the season for him. Hopefully he can finally make it to that vaunted NBA All-Star bid that he's needed for so long, although I don't know if it matters anymore in terms of his actual contract if he gets that.
I don't know. Maybe he'll get a bonus out of it.
I'm sure he probably would, but I know in his last contract, if he got one, he got put into that Supermax. I don't think that is a thing anymore, but let's move on to...
Hold on a second, dude. Hold on. Give me a second.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Out of that game, this made a really cool stat for the Nuggets where that made for the third starter for a team to have 50 points, and the first time it's ever happened in a season.
Yeah, well, I thought it was the first time, but then I thought I saw something that there was other teams.
Maybe it was like 1978 or something.
It was a long time ago if it was. Let me
Aaron
see
Gordon's
if I can
hitting
find
50.
it.
Of course, Jokic is hitting 50, and then Murray hit 52 the other night. And I was watching that game. I watched a lot of that game. Man, he was just on fire. He hit 10 threes in that game.
Oh, he was just lights out.
And he actually did the blue arrow celebration.
He said he was going to quit doing it, but that night he said he saw a little kid in the front row.
I know, that was
cool.
cool.
He was a Jamal Murray fan, so he's like, I pulled out the old blue arrow for him.
That was awesome.
Super cool. Yeah, I can't find that stat. I think there was more teams that have had it, but right now the Nuggets are the first one in a long time. We'll give it that. But let's move on then now to story number 3, and that is Desmond Bane getting fined $35,000 for throwing the ball at, who was it here? It was OG Anunoby. He threw the ball at. I do have a video here, I believe. Give me a second. And we'll get that pulled up. But yeah, Desmond Bane, after this happened, there was been like a few videos of him starting stuff with people. There was him and LeBron getting into it. There was some other people getting into it with him. So he is becoming quite the little agitator in the NBA, if you will. And unfortunately for him, it is working against him as he is now getting fined a good chunk of money. But when you think about $35,000 in terms of what these NBA guys make, it's really not that much money. But to us, I mean, some people make that in half the year.
No, but I mean, you think it depends on the player, because there was one guy, I can't remember who it was. He got fined 12% of his salary, and he only gets like $75,000 a year. So that took a huge chunk of his salary.
He's like, I get no money now.
But yeah,
that's
Desmond
cool.
Bane's pretty much been called the light-skinned Draymond Green recently.
Yeah, and after he got traded from the Knicks to the Orlando Magic, he has kind of been dominating a little bit. I mean, everybody kind of thought he was going to be...
Was he on the Knicks last year?
Wasn't it?
I thought he was on the Grizzlies with Ja.
Oh, shit, he was. I'm sorry. We're talking about the Knicks. I just said the Knicks. Yeah, he was on the Grizzlies and got traded to the Orlando Magic.
And they are leading tonight. They're up 12 on the Heat in their NBA Cup game.
Oh, yeah, look at that. We're in the 4th. Let's play this video real quick of Desmond Bane throwing the ball at Mr. OG Anunoby.
Miles Bridges makes a steal. OG goes up for the layup.
Oh, don't. Oh!
He just runs it off of him. That was great.
What'd he do that for?
Man, just like somebody
He
in
spiked
dodgeball.
it, dude.
Just like shooting fish out of a barrel. That was
He
rough.
spiked it on his head. No, on his back. But yeah, he got fined $35,000 for that. Let's quickly cruise down the standings.
All right, I'll take the East. The Detroit Pistons at 19-5. Rolling. And then the New York Knicks, number 2 at 16-7. The Boston Celtics, like we said, after the 3-0 weekend, they're at 15-9. And then the Raptors at 15-10. The Magic 14-10, and then the Heat at 14-10.
Yes, indeedly, doodly. Let's move over to the Western Conference. Oklahoma City Thunder, they don't lose, 23-1. Los Angeles Lakers, 17-6. The Denver Nuggets in third, 17-6, and the Houston Rockets 15-6. San Antonio Spurs creeping up behind them, 16-7. But with the loss of Wemby for a few weeks, we'll see if they can continue to hold on to that. Let's move into college sports real quick. We're gonna skip the All right, college sports, here we come.
It's set.
Yep, it has happened.
The college football playoff has been set. The conference championships were last weekend, and like I said, as we were sitting there watching or eating at Cherry Creek Grill, it was great because the Alabama and Georgia game was going on, and Georgia's just put it to them. But Alabama gets in as a 3-loss team, and boy, Notre Dame are crying.
Yeah, they are not happy whatsoever, as they kind of feel like the ACC has effectively screwed them out of what they were hoping would be their bid into the college football playoffs. But unfortunately, no.
And my cousin texted our little family group chat and our fantasy text, and it was all mad like they got robbed. And some people feel that way, but I just don't understand how they can't wake up to like how the whole season played out for them. They didn't beat a top 15 team, and then the 2 teams that they actually scheduled that were good beat them in a pretty good fashion too. Texas A&M and Miami.
Yeah.
And so schedule harder teams. They don't have a conference. They don't have a conference championship. And so, there's really not any case for them. And then you got this new stipulation for next year's playoff bracket where if they're ranked 12 or higher at the end after the final college football playoff rankings, they automatically get a bid.
Well, and the whole thing is because they're not involved in any sort of, they're technically kind of their own entity now, which makes it doesn't help them in any sort of way. But this is what the athletic director, Pete Bavacqua, had to say. There's no good explanation for leaving them out of the 12-team field. He's like, I'm 1,000,000% biased when it comes to Notre Dame, but you ask anybody in college football, we're one of the best teams in the country. We're one of those handful of teams that could absolutely win the national championship this year. And then standing up here today, knowing we have 0% chance of proving that on the field is a bitter pill to swallow. I do kind of get that. It does kind of suck. And that's why the 4-team, we know it's going to more. The 4-team is just, it was antiquated after they announced it.
Yeah.
And they just need to go to more.
I think
we won't have these issues.
After this, yeah.
But this is kind of what would happen with the 4-team because you have so many teams in the SEC and the Big 12 now that everything shifted.
The Big 10.
Well, Big 10 as well. Yeah, they're just so top heavy. There's no chance for other teams to get in with there only being 4
You look
spots.
at it. Yeah, you got 1, let's see, 2 from the Big 10. Then the SEC, you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, then 1 team from the Big 12 with Texas Tech. The Big 12 was kind of weak this year outside of BYU and Texas Tech. But, I mean, yeah, that's just that's how it's going. I mean, these teams are ruling it. And, I mean, let's get into the playoffs. So the first games will be starting December 19th and 20th. And number 10, Miami takes on number 7, Texas A&M. And then the winner of that game will play Ohio State. And then 11, Tulane. Getting in. Dude, you want to hear something crazy? When I was in high school, I heard of Tulane somehow or another. And then in the old interweb days, I was like, let me look this up. Damn, this is cool. This is in New Orleans. This college looks awesome.
Yeah.
Then I found out it was a private school. And I was like, damn, I'm never going to afford there. And I knew I didn't have the grades anyway. But ever since then, I've always thought Tulane's cool.
Yeah,
so
I like that. You got to have those
them.
little things in your life that make you like something for no reason.
I mean, there's the 122 Divisions in 1 schools, so
that's true.
You got to get behind a couple of them.
That's
but they will be
true.
taking on the powerhouse Ole Miss without Lane Kiffin. And the winner of that game will go on to take Georgia. You want to take the rest of the bracket?
Yes. Shit, where were you at?
Take on Alabama and OU.
Oh, Alabama, it's taking on OU, and the winner of that will take on
The
Indiana.
number 1 ranked team. This was the biggest upset of the weekend, the Big Ten Championship. Indiana beat Ohio State. And that's with Ohio State just clocking Fernando Mendoza, who's probably going to get the Heisman just multiple times. So
that one hit, everybody was like, we don't know how he came back into the game.
That was nuts, dude.
He's like, probably doesn't know who he is.
Yeah.
The other game is number 10 versus number 7, Miami versus Texas A&M. The winner
I covered that game.
Oh, shit.
Go
I'm
up
sorry.
to James Madison.
James Madison versus Oregon. Sorry, I was doing stuff over here. James Madison University versus Oregon. The winner of that game will take on Texas Tech in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, and I'm going to parlay that into my daily dog. Mr. Bob Chesney took this team, James Madison. And probably the only people who've ever heard of James Madison is not just the president, but the school from sometimes when they make the March Madness bracket as like a 15, 16
Oh,
seed.
yeah, they're always
like catching that like seed, sneaking in there. Maybe sometimes they'll pull an upset in the first round, but they never go too far. But that's why that whole program is my daily dog and pretty much the coach for turning it around. Because in the last 10 years, this is what's happened. 2016 FCS National Championship. 2017 and 2019 FCS runner-ups. Joined the FBS in 2022 and already in 3 years in 2025 earned a college football playoff. Unbelievable.
That's pretty impressive in that short of time to be able to pull that off, and I don't have any argument as to why he is your daily dog.
That's right. They're probably going to get blown out, but hey, they need it.
That's all. Sometimes it's just getting there, and he'll probably get a division. Well, I mean, a better job out of this, unfortunately, for James Madison University, as he will probably move on and make some significantly more money. But, there's not much you can do there, unfortunately. But that's going to take me to my daily dog.
Daily dogs out.
And that is Mr. Brandon Aubrey, who was a first-round pick of the MLS draft, but that stalled after he had to walk away, and he started his a business basically in tech with his software engineering degree. One night while watching NFL with his wife, his wife said, "You could do that," and he said, "Damn right I could." So he basically spent a couple years working as an engineer by day and learning how to kick at night. He went and earned a tryout and won a job with the USFL. And now the Cowboys, after signing him, may have the best kicker we have seen in the NFL since the one we shall not name, Mr. Justin Tucker.
Yep. Your kicker's the most accurate in NFL history.
Who?
Mr. Dicker the kicker.
Oh, Dicker the kicker? Yeah, as of right now. But in terms of just like 50-yard field goals and in terms of being that consistent above and beyond that, I think he's the first kicker to have 3 field goals over 55 yards.
He's now got 5 or 6 over 60.
He did in one game with 55 yards. So he is an incredible kicker. I do think if he can continue on this path, he will probably go down as one of the best and one of the most consistent. But we'll see what Cameron Dicker, the kicker, can do as he dicks her down the rest of the season, nice. Trying to make it into the playoffs or possibly the AFC West champions if they can make it there, or at least win the AFC West, I guess. But
all right. Where do you want to go next? You want to go to F1?
Let's go to F1. Let's hit it, man. Let's hit it. Let's hit it. Grip it.
Got a lot to talk about here.
Grip it. Hit it. Hit it. Grip it. Well, the Abu Dhabi race happened at 6 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and Mr. Verstappen had the pole, and Mr. Verstappen won the race.
Yes.
He did say after the fact that his relationship with the RB21 car, bless you, child, was a very contentious one, as it was one of the harder vehicles he's probably had to drive in a while. But it was tuned basically for him, and he gripped it and ripped it all the way to the end.
He did. In the very first turn, he just jumped right in front of Lando Norris. Didn't want to allow Lando to get it because Lando had the pole, and Max.
Oh shit, Lando did have the pole.
Yeah, Lando had the pole, and so Max just cut him off immediately, and then led for about 25 laps, and then he pitted, and then it was pretty much a good strategy by Zach Brown in this one to they had to pit later in the race, and then Oscar
Verstappen was on the pole.
Verstappen was on the pole?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, he definitely didn't want to let Lando
Well,
get
it
out
looked
there.
like Lando got a really good start.
He had the inside spot, and he knew he didn't want to have that, and so he just basically just darted straight for him. Didn't want him to get it, and that's right, because we talked about it Saturday. Saturday that he did have the pole, but he came out there and he led pretty much all the laps and until he had to pit, and then the other McLarens, Piastri jumped up there and was leading for a little bit, and then Max had such a big lead whenever he was leading that once he pitted, he came back and he was right back in it. But got to hand it to Lando. After Lando pitted, he fell to like 7th and climbed all the way back to 3rd where he needed to be.
Yeah, he had basically the floor of 4th, and even with Lando winning in deciding fashion, he had no chance. I mean, there was talks at one point when he was ahead, like, should we pit again to put on new tires? And I don't really know what the point would have been. But regardless, we're here now, and Lando wins the Drivers' Championship, his first time. It's been a while since McLaren's won. I'm trying to think who the last McLaren driver
2008 with Lewis Hamilton.
Oh, yep, that's right. Lewis Hamilton. Before that, I believe, was not Carlos Sainz, Ayrton Senna in the 90s. So, yeah, it's cool to see McLaren come back to resurgence. Again, I do kind of feel a little bit like Lando backed into it. Just with
when you look at the way it happened too,
the crutches he was given by his team.
Yes, I mean he overtook Yuki Tsunoda and went off track, but they say Yuki was weaving a little bit too much, but that's really debated. Even on the radio, Yuki was like, it was funny. He was like, "What? A penalty for what?" He was trying to block for his teammate, and that's the thing I kind of don't like about Formula One, where there's so much like integrity and just like you have to follow by the rules, when if you look at the IndyCar racing, you're able to like block someone out like it's playing the post in basketball, and I mean that's the point. It's racing. You're supposed to block someone out, but I know safety is such a big part. They do
have a big thing about correct passing.
Yes,
there's a lot of things.
A lot of things on the correct passing, but Lando did earn it.
He did. He gets it. He'll get that vaunted number 1 on his car next year, and it's going to be an interesting Formula One year, as I do think there's going to be some shakeups, and we've already had one with Isaac Hadjar moving into the second driver's seat instead of Yuki Tsunoda, who loses his position. We're going to have Cadillac coming in next year. There's going to be a lot of interesting things happening. So stay tuned to F1 as the Drive to Survive will probably come out here in a few months, and we'll get a catch up on this season, which will be a good thing to do. Yep. Also, Helmut Marko leaves Red Bull. As that came out today.
Yes, yeah. Now
like
there's
20
only
years.
3 staff members left from Max's championship run.
Yeah, so
crazy.
Things are flipping around there. We'll see if Max can put together a team that he likes. Yeah. But let's move real quick into the UFC.
Let's get it on!
All right. Saturday night, we had a pay-per-view event to close out the year, and boy, that's why I hope none of you guys listen to me when it comes to bets. Because I said if I had like $400, I'd put $400 on Marab, and I mean, he was a heavy favorite. I mean, I even looked at it. He was like minus 450, I think. I mean, it would have taken a lot to even make any chunk of change on that. But Peter Yan pulls off the upset, and pretty much just outboxed him the whole fight. But the stat that I think is the most fascinating from all this, because we talked about Marab's relentless and unparalleled ground game. He attempted 29 takedowns on Peter, only landed 2.
Yeah, in which he has the record for the most takedowns in a single match. Yep. And to get stuffed like that over and over and over again, and then just to get picked apart standing up, I mean, Peter Yan definitely, I don't know if he figured something out or what, but he's got the inside line on how to beat Marab.
I actually saw a really good image today where Peter's coach showed an iPad where, I mean, this is like some Doctor Strange stuff, where it was like this bracket, and it was basically like this graph kind of to where it was like option A, if Rob takes a single leg, go to plan A. Or if he takes a double leg, you go to plan B. And I mean, they just had such a concise plan for this guy, and you saw it in the fight. And I mean, we talked about it. I never answered your text, but I mean, it was just like that nose break,
How
dude.
dare you?
Oh my god,
He blew up his nose.
He already has like a really wide nose, probably from just fighting over the years and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But like, it was mangled.
Yeah.
I mean, just he pieced him up. And what's worse is like when you see, I think a video that Marab did, like just kind of giving his take on the fight, like 2 days later, after his face is bruised and
After that
healing.
swelling really sets in,
It
Just
looked,
like,
I mean, yeah, Peter landed 139 significant strikes, and actually Marab landed more. And that's just it. Is like it went to decision, but I mean it was
Well, I
unanimous.
think at one point in the 4th round, they popped up like somebody's score, and they had it all in Marab's favor, and I was like,
That's
I don't know how.
Yeah, because it ended 46-49, 46-49, and 47-48. So it was unanimous, and that's good to see. This was another reason why I think UFC is my favorite sport. I mean, you just never know what's going to happen. And case in point, for the co-main event, I mean, we've seen some gnarly breaks. Pantoja, and it's such a shame because he has been such a dominant.
It's when he checked the kick, right?
No, he went to. So he checked the kick and he goes to fall down,
And
and then
that's
when his elbow breaks, and God, it was nasty. And Joshua Van, you can criticize him for whatever, because he kind of celebrated after he won, and it's not really how you want to celebrate or win a fight.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But hopefully Pantoja can heal up and come back and kind of defend, and get a chance to come back through and reclaim his belt, because you never want to see anybody lose by like a technical matter, by like
It's
something
like when
breaking.
Silva's leg, or
Weidman's leg,
Weidman,
Conor McGregor.
yeah.
It's
Those always suck.
unfortunate.
Like, and it's like even more unfortunate than like a Mike Tyson knockout, where it was like you paid for the fight and 10 seconds in he knocks the guy out cold.
Yeah.
It's even more unfortunate when the guy's like leg fell off basically,
And it's such a
his
freak
arm
injury.
broke in half.
Because a lot of times with those leg breaks, those guys are throwing these like high power leg kicks, and then it hits a shin,
yeah.
it's bound to snap. But this guy was just catching himself as he was falling down. It's insane. That's so random.
Who did that? There was somebody that happened to not too long ago. They fell down and their arm just like broke all weird. I can't remember who, but regardless. Yeah. I mean, that fight was definitely a little bit of a letdown just because of, how it went down. And it was barely 30 seconds into the fight. It wasn't that long into it.
26 seconds.
20, so yeah, right
Crazy.
around there. Unfortunately, he drops, arm broken, fight over. Definite bummer, but that's it for the numbered UFCs for this year.
It is, yep. And next week we do have one more fight night. It's a really good one. Our boy from Denver, Brandon Royval, also in that flyweight division, will be fighting, I think his name's Manuel Cape. So it's a good one.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. We'll be talking about that one before we take our little winter break here coming up. But let's move into the DDO. Because it's that time, and the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. John Daly, grips it, rips it, and hits it hard, man.
I hit it hard, man. So far, man. No laying up, no holding back. Ain't afraid of nothing, it's a natural fact. I hit it long, man. Till it's gone, man. Keep taking chances, living large. I hit it hard.
And that's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to grip it, rip it, and hit it hard. But this week we have a fun one that ties into sports, and it's kind of cool because I appreciate people, supporting their friends. And this wasn't the first time that this has happened because it goes back to the college days. But Mr. Daniel Jones, Chad, tell him all about it.
Yes, so we all know Daniel Jones just kind of got hurt. And the unfortunate thing about this little brace that his friends made didn't quite prevent it fully, where it did end up popping. But maybe that's just like on the Colts for rolling him out there when he's got a broken fibula. But anyway, 7 years after two teammates created a special pad to protect Jones's fractured collarbone, the same duo has done it again, this time to fit it over Jones's injured lower left leg. Jones said Wednesday he first tore it in a loss at Kansas City, then again in Kansas City's loss to the Colts' loss to the Houston Texans. Lucky to have smart friends who are really close friends, Jones said. It's pretty low profile and it fits to my leg pretty well. I don't even really notice it on Sunday. Jones didn't elaborate much on what the extra padding does exactly, other than noting Colts doctors and trainers gave him approval to wear it. So, former Duke center Clark Bouye and former Duke linebacker Kevin Gessman started the company Protect 3D to produce custom printed 3D braces and orthodontics not orthodontics, that's teeth. Orthotics.
Orthopedics.
No, there's no
that's
pedic in
foot.
there. I know, right?
We are not doctors.
Orthotics. I guess it's got to be
That makes
orthotics.
sense.
Yeah, that help athletes recover from injuries. They created an app that allows the products to be scanned to mobile phones or tablets and are then printed out. The Durham, North Carolina-based company also says it works with an advisory board of physicians and trainers that are listed on the website. This is pretty cool because, I mean, Duke's a pretty notable university, and these guys are pretty smart.
They're Blue Devils.
Yes. And, there's a lot of, you can go get your run-of-the-mill pad. I use a new knee brace sometimes, but, technology is always advancing with this 3D printing to have something that's kind of more fitted to somebody's size. Everybody's built different. It's pretty cool. And for him to kind of give his friends a shout out like that and to wear it, pretty sweet.
Yeah, no, it is super cool. It's like you said, it's not like it was like a brace or anything. It is basically like, I don't think his leg was like broken in half. Obviously, he has a fracture in the middle of his lower left leg, and the brace, or the, what do you call it? The I don't know.
I kind of called it like some padding.
It's basically like a plastic pad is going to cover that area where the break is to stop him from getting kicked or hit in it again. But I think, unfortunately, regardless of that pad, he's been practicing since the Kansas City game he said it happened in. So it's been 2 weeks that he's had an issue.
Yeah.
I think he's been favoring that left leg so much that when he planted on his right leg to throw that ball, you just see it pop, and that was it.
It's crazy. You see this a lot with these Achilles injuries where guys are favoring it. That happened with Tyrese Halliburton, where he was dealing with
possibly just keep an eye out on Giannis this year.
Oh, is he dealing with the same thing? Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
Keep an eye out.
Yeah, but I mean, man, I saw this post too that was like, man, Indianapolis players are just cursed because last year I think it was Tyrese Halliburton, and then Caitlin Clark had, I think it was a foot injury.
Oh yeah, that is true.
It's just,
but 2 Achilles to their main, and they are both doing really good.
Yes.
I mean, I know that the Colts had fallen off in the last couple of weeks, but also dude's got a broken leg.
Yeah, that was pretty much started when he had a broken leg.
Yeah, kind of reasonable.
Yep.
But to have him go down, and I feel so bad for the dude. Guy came out, had no reason to succeed, balled out, gutted it out for the team, for the city, and now, I don't know what's going to happen.
It's unfortunate, man. I mean, I really liked what the story behind the Colts this year with trying to win it for Jim Irsay. Carly Irsay's this, boss woman in there making stuff happen,
boss lady,
listening to every play call and stuff like that, so I was really kind of gunning for him to do well, but this is kind of unfortunate. I bet the Jags are probably going to, I think they're going to slip, unfortunately. But you never know. Old man Rivers might come through and save the day.
Yep.
He did. If you remember, the last time he was playing, he took them to a playoff game, and they came within 3 points of beating the Bills.
Yeah, I don't know. This time's a little bit different, though. 4 years to 2. Well, that is going to do it for us, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you all tuning in each and every week. Please make sure to go like, share, subscribe, and follow us on all things social media. Be a friend, tell a friend, and we love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in.
If you all are Packers fans, tune in next week. We plan on having Eric from Acme Army on.
Nice. That will be cool. He was a great guest to have on. Great interview. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, follow, like I said.
Yes.
Like, share, subscribe, follow.
Love you, buddy.
Love you too, buddy. We'll catch you guys later. Toodles.